Hello, Sudoku friends, and welcome to a puzzle. And that I don't know if it is medium, hard, difficult, easy, whatever. I just thought I would mix up things a little today, so I went online to the website of the French newspaper Le Monde. And I looked up their daily Sudoku and I copied the grid over to sudokuexchange.com, and here we are. So I have a feeling that this is not going to be very difficult because there are so many givens. So I hope that you will forgive me. But let's get started and see what we can do. And I think this is going to be so easy that I will give everyone a chance to input the digits before I do. So the first one I want you to find is a 1. And I want you to find a 1 in the third left of the puzzle. See, that wasn't hard, was it? The 1 blocks down here and this 1 blocks down, so a 1 must go here. Now see if you can find an 8 in the upper third of the grid. I think that is an easy one as well, because we got an 8 blocking over here and 1 8 blocking up. So an 8 must go here. Now see if you can find where an 8 and a 1 go. They go in 2 squares as a pair. We can't place them yet, but they go as pairs in 2 squares. This is a little more advanced, but they will give it a few seconds and see what we can come up with. Here we go. See, we got an 8 blocking down here and here, so an 8 must go in one of these 2 squares. We also have a 1 blocking over here and a 1 blocking up here, so a 1 must go in one of these 2 squares. And therefore cannot go in this square here, and this 1 blocks down here. So these 2 squares are the only ones in this column, and in this box number 9 there can be a 1 and an 8. And that should help you find a 3. And I will help you. The 3 will go in the lower third of the grid. And this is how we find a 3. We know that these have to be a 1 and an 8. And we know that a 3 blocks over here. So a 3 must go either here or here, blocking over. This 3 also blocks over. So a 3 for this box here, box 8, has got to go here. And now I think you can place the 1 and an 8 that we were looking at before in these 2 squares. See if you can figure it out. Here's how it goes. This is a 1 or an 8, right? So it follows that this also must be a 1 and an 8, because those are the only 2 digits missing in the row. But we already have a 1 blocking this square, so it's got to be an 8. Therefore, this has got to be a 1, and this must be the other 8. And now it follows, of course, that with all the 8s blocking up and down, this is an 8. And that concludes the 8s for this grid here. And I'm sure that you have already spotted the missing 7 in row 9. We got 7 and 7s blocking across, so a 7 must go here. And now we know that these 2 squares must be what? That's right, a 5 and a 3. And therefore these 2 squares must be a 9 and a 4. We can't place them yet, but at least we know that they must be a 9 and a 4. Now see if you can find a 4 in column 5. Sometimes these patterns are easily overlooked, at least by me, but it's quite obvious that this 4 blocks here, and there's only one other empty square in this column. So a 4 must go here. And that, of course, gives us this 4 here. We know that these are 3 and 5, and therefore this has got to be a 9. Only one square missing now here in the bottom row, and that's a 1. And having found this 9 here, I'm sure that you can place a 9 in column 4 now, because this 9 blocks up, so a 9 must go here. In row 9, we still need to find a 9 and a 6, and we can't find them yet, so they will have to wait. These two squares must be a 7 and a 2. Here we can do something because the 2 blocks over, making this a 7 and this a 2. We can figure out what these two squares must be, because we know that these squares up here must be a 1, 4, and a 7. Therefore, these must be a 3 and a 6. These squares must be a 1, 9, and a 5. We have a couple of 1s blocking across, so the 1 must go here. These have to be 9s and 5s. We can find a 7 now, and this time I'm not going to tell you about where it's going to go, but I'm sure you could figure it out. Got it? This 7 blocks across, so does this, and this 7 blocks up, so here's a 7. I'm sure now that you can figure out where we place a 9 in the leftmost chute. That exercise is a little involved, but I'll give it a few seconds and then I'll show you how to do this. You ready? Look at the 9 here. It blocks this square. The 9 here blocks this square. So it's quite clear that one of these two squares must be a 9. So where now can we place a 9 in column 1? It can't go here because of these two 9s blocking. And this 9 blocks this square. So a 9 must go here. And now it should be very clear where we place a 9 in column 7. Because we got two 9s blocking over. And here's therefore a 9. And that gives us a 9 for this square, of course. So a 1 goes here. Up here we need a 7, and the 7 can't go here, must go here, and a 6, which blocks over, making a 6 out of this square, leaving this square to be a 4. Here we only need one more digit, and that must be a 6. This 6 blocks across, this blocks down, so here's a 6. 6 blocks over, another 6 blocks over, here's a 6. Do you remember what this square had to be? I'll remind you, these two squares must be a 4 and a 7, and the only other digit missing now is a 3, it therefore must go here. Speaking about the 4 and the 7 blocks over, so here's a 4 and here's a 7. we got a couple of 4s blocking across like so. So a 4 must go here. Here we're looking for a 3 and a 5, just as we are looking for a 3 and a 5 here. And here we're still looking for a 9 and a 6. But now we got a 6 up here blocking down, making this a 9 and this a 6. One of these must be a 9, but do you remember how we agreed that one of these must be a 9? So we don't really have to analyze this square again, do we? But we do have a 9 blocking this square, so we know that this square must be a 9. And now these must be a 5 and a 3. The 3 blocks down, so the 5 must go here and the 3 here. This 3 blocks over, making a 5 out of this square, and we do have a 5 and a 3 down here, right? So now this must be the 5 and this must be the 3. This also must be a 3. The last 2 digits here is a 5, which has to go here, and a 9, which must go here. That was quite a neat little puzzle from the Monde. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I might go back to that website for other puzzles in the time ahead. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.